your book is different from
So I make a very clear point about the Hindu faith as a faith of acceptance of difference, and Hindutva as a political doctrine of intolerance and of identity politics. And therefore, my Hinduism has nothing to do with Hindutva, either hard or soft.
It's just the opposite of it.
It's exactly the opposite.
Okay.
So it's only those who haven't taken the trouble to read my book who are accusing me of soft Hindutva.
Okay.
The BJP and RSS have never accused me of that because they know perfectly well where I come from. My attitude to them is quite belligerent because it's from within the Hindu faith that I'm arguing against them. And this, by the way, is something I've done going back to the Babri Masjid demolition in 1992 when I spoke at the Indian consulate about it. And a whole bunch of local RSS guys called, I think they were called the Hindu Swayam Sevak Sangh rather than the RSS, they all came intending to heckle me, and once they heard my speech they quietly slunk away without a word because they couldn't disagree with 90% of what I had said. In fact, not 99% of what I had said. So therefore the point is that my stand has been consistent throughout, it's reflected in my writings, but it only became necessary after BJP came to power and started distorting what Hinduism was all about. That's only when it became necessary to go public at such length. You will see the same argument distilled in 3 pages in my 27-year-old book, India from Midnight to the Millennium. But I needed to write a full-length book to lay this out in great detail. It came out in January 2018. 2018. Why am I here?
So the PM has been extensively campaigning in Kerala this time. Is it out of fear that they will be losing their existing seats, or is it because of the fact that they are aiming at 400?
This 400 is complete hype. They are certainly not going to keep their present majority. That's obvious to anyone with common sense and follows the news. But before we get to that, the Prime Minister came to Kerala as much last time. In fact, in 2019, he made 2 visits to my own constituency, whereas this time he hasn't come to Thiruvananthapuram. He has been to Thiruvananthapuram district, but to the other constituency, Attingal. Amit Shah came 3 times last time, and Nirmala Sitharaman spent 10 days campaigning here in Thiruvananthapuram last time. Javadekar was here, Prahlad Joshi was here. So they brought out their full guns in support of their candidate. And what happened? They lost. So I don't think they're investing that much of credibility this time as last time. Having said that, the BJP, on your larger question, is in deep trouble. And I think we're seeing signs of their panic everywhere. They realize that they maxed out their support bases in all the states where they're strong in 2019. 6 states have won every seat. 3 states have won all but 1 seat. 2 states have won all but 2 seats. In those 11 states, with the possible exception of Gujarat, there is only one way they can go, and that's down. Whereas in every case, surveys indicate the Congress going up. And they know this. Karnataka Congress won 1 seat. Today there's a survey showing 17 seats, another survey showing 20 seats. Even if you take 50% of 20 and say 10 seats, that's 9 seats more than we won last time. That's BJP is losing. Telangana, we won 2 seats last time. This time we're winning 10 to 12 by all accounts. Haryana, we won 0 last time. This time we are winning 5 to 7 by all accounts. So the result is, wherever you look, the BJP is only going down. But if you ask them, where are you going up? All they can point to is UP. And the fact is, in UP, there is not much up. And on top of that, they're only contesting 74 because 6 seats have been given to allies. So how much headroom do they have? Where are they going to get that 272 from? Forget 300, forget 400. That's why when Priyanka Gandhi makes a speech saying 180 is going to be a challenge for them, I am not surprised.
100 is a pipe dream.
Pipe dream. That's purely part of their propaganda. In fact, if you look at the number of state elections, somebody has taken the trouble to look at their slogans for a dozen state elections. Up ki bar, something par. And in every case, they've fallen well below that. So I don't think there's going to be any expectation of 400. I think the miracle for them is going to be if they come to even 271.
Do you think that there is anti-incumbency existing against the state governments? And if so, will it get reflected in the Lok Sabha polls?
So I believe it will. The state government is deeply unpopular and for good reason. And in these circumstances, people are seeing an early opportunity to express their displeasure because state elections are still 2 years away. And I I think for them, here is a chance to already signal their displeasure. Even where they are put forward by far stronger candidates than they did last time, I suspect that they're going to lose very badly. And I think there is no survey showing them getting more than 2 or 3 seats, and even those 2 or 3, I'm fairly confident we're going to take over in the next, overtake them in the next 7 or 8 years.
So that will get reflected in the Lok Sabha poll?
Yeah, we are looking at 20 out of 20 for the UDF this time.
So did you do some internal survey or something?
Look, I'm focused completely on my constituency, but what I'm picking up is
in the sense the Congress?
Yeah, the Congress definitely.
Is electoral bond a whole issue here in Thiruvananthapuram?
Well,
because the scheme has been struck down by SC and Congress had also...
we have made, see, there are national issues as well as local issues. So you and I talked earlier about the local issues.
Yeah.
On the national issues, unemployment, price rise, electoral bonds, and the BJP's broken promises have all featured. In fact, the BJP's record in Kerala is particularly embarrassing because they made 3 Kerala-specific promises only in these 10 years. All 3 were broken. They promised Kerala an AIMS, no AIMS has come. They promised us in a speech here in Thiruvananthapuram a National Institute of Ayurveda, a National University of Ayurveda. They gave it to Gujarat. They promised us in their budget speech of 2015-16, you can look it up, they promised to upgrade the National Institute of Speech and Hearing here in Trivandrum to a National University for Disability Studies. After 2 years of not implementing it, when I kept reminding them and chasing them, they ended up establishing it in the Northeast, saying that where to locate the university was their privilege and that their promise was not specific, but their promise was specific. They said they would upgrade this particular national institute to a national university. So 3 promises, all 3 broken. And frankly, Thiruvananthapuram has no reason to believe any other promises made by the BJP given this. So when their candidate comes and talks fatuously about Modi ki guarantee, the only guarantee we have got from Modi is that his promises will all be broken.
Okay. So you're a CWC member. Do you think that India Alliance will do well nationally?
Yeah.
From what?
So what I'm picking up from my colleagues who've traveled through the country, obviously I've been anchored here since 10th of March. But what I'm picking up from everybody else is that we are definitely doing very, very well. I don't know if you saw images yesterday of Priyanka's rally in Saharanpur, but you've been seeing the images of Rahul's rallies. We are looking at an enormous turnout exceeding all expectations. And in places across the Hindi belt, which the BJP had been taking for granted, they're seeing themselves in trouble. Remember, we don't even need to win a majority of the seats in every one of these Hindi-speaking states. We just need to win better than we did last time and win a few seats more. And as I gave the example of Haryana, we are seeing definite anti-incumbency against the BJP in many of these states. And I am very, very hopeful that we're going to give them a real shock. I'm not going to give numbers because, as with cricket scores, I'm very leery of predicting an exact number. That we should leave to the psephologists. But even the psephologists in India have never had a great track record because of the statistical improbability of some of their random samples. All I can say is that we are looking at a situation where the BJP is seriously in trouble, and if they drop significantly below the majority threshold, they won't find allies. This is why they're desperate and almost embarrassing appeals to the BJD, which had kicked them out in 2009, and to the Akali Dal, which abandoned them during the farmers' strike, to come back. And they made public offers, and in the end they were spurned by both these smaller parties, which shows how desperate they are. The arrest of Kejriwal is another sign of desperation. They don't want him to campaign in Delhi and Punjab. Delhi, they won every seat. This time they may lose every seat. If you're looking at the freezing of Congress's bank accounts, if they really think that freezing a few hundred crores is going to win them the election, they've got another thing coming. So the obvious truth is that the BJP is desperate. They're trying everything. And they even raided Rahul Gandhi's helicopter a couple of days ago, whereas the planes used by any of their ministers and prominent people, they're full of anecdotal references to what comes out of those planes, but there's never been a raid. So all I can say is there is a one-sidedness that reflects also the desperation of the BJP and the panic of the BJP.
The fact that Rahul Gandhi is contesting again from Kerala in Wayanad, is it going to help the Congress nationally?
I think it should help the Congress in Kerala and neighboring states because, I mean, one of the things I overheard a speech somebody saying, look, if India Alliance wins, Kerala will have a prime minister. You know, that kind of talk.
Yeah.
So it will help, I think, in the south. In the north, I leave it to the experts to judge whether it will help. I don't think it will hurt because he is a sitting MP. From everyone expects a sitting MP to defend his seat. But my expectation is its likelihood is that he will also contest a seat in the north. That's the general. All that is not my call, and as he said in a press conference, it's not his call, it's the party's call. We'll see what happens.
The Congress has been accused of being in the mute mode when it comes to CAA.
See, that's an absurd accusation. Because when the bill was introduced in Parliament, I leapt up to oppose its introduction, arguing it was unconstitutional and we didn't have the legislative competence to discuss it. That can be found on YouTube. When the bill was debated, I spoke against it. When Amit Shah spoke in defense of the bill, I'm the one who challenged it. So all of this has happened on Parliament, on record, available on YouTube. It's preposterous for the Chief Minister to suggest the Congress was mute. On top of that, I was the first MP of any party in the country to go to Shahin Bagh and join the four grandmothers in the contest and address it. I also spoke in various district rallies in Kerala convened by the KPCC to actually protest the CAA, all this in December and January when the bill came, 2019, early 2020. So the Congress's stand is clear and unambiguous. Religion has no place in the citizenship law. That's our stand. And that has not changed. I have been a votary of it. The UDF, E.T. Muhammad Bashir of the Muslim League was almost equally outspoken. So I have to say that not just inaccurate, it is an insult to the voter to assume that they can't look these up on YouTube or Google and find out for themselves.
Is the Congress in your constituency a house in order? Because last time you complained about some disturbances.
No complaints from me this time.
Thank you so much.